rowdy group. I like it. I didn't realize I drank so much.
Let me tell you, in Sonoma.
This was a particularly drinking kind of montage for Sonoma, is what you're saying?
I think that they saw something in your work that appealed to them.
Breasts and liquor.
Breasts and wine. Were you eating in any of those scenes?
No, that's what makes the world go round.
You were saying earlier, before we showed the montage, how you felt that because they were dangerous, or that there was something edgy about that? You knew when you were filming these films that there was something different, or?
No.
Okay, so what happened?
I think when you're doing them, you just suspend your judgment, or else you can't do them. I mean, when we were doing Thelma and Louise, we were making a cowboy movie with women and trucks instead of guys and horses, and we didn't understand that we kind of backed into this ground that was held by white heterosexual males, and that they would get so upset. And I mean, we really, I can understand if you're a guy and you wear an excessive amount of gold jewelry, because we were kind of tough on those guys, but I mean, really just as a general kind of, I mean, nobody got really upset about Butch Cassidy. Nobody said you're condoning suicide, or
Right.
I mean, it's just a genre. But when we did it, it got people very upset. Dead Man Walking got people upset. Bull Durham was a classic, but it was a film in which the woman got to choose, and so that kind of
As she should.
the wrong way. What else? Rocky Horror Show, I guess, got people confused.
Let me ask you about Rocky Horror Show. Were you amazed by your own performance? I mean, this
Well, we go that far.
I mean, I must say, it really is part of the, the lexicon now.
No, I Don't Dream It, Be It is a great message, and I'm really happy to be part of a film that apparently has helped people find their sexuality.
Right, exactly.
Through the years. I never ask further than that. When someone tells me that, I just go, great.
Yeah, right.
I'm always terrified whenever I start anything. It doesn't matter if it's somebody that's
Right.
older, younger, it's always an adjustment to whatever world you're entering, because every film has a different vocabulary and a different power structure, and all of that has to be figured out as you're doing it.
Well, just, you go through the list. I mean, Jack Nicholson in Witches of Eastwick, Tim Robbins, Bull Durham, Kevin Costner, Tommy Lee Jones, Chris Walken, Jimmy Gandolfini, Burt Lancaster, Sean Penn.
You have to love something about them, and you have to find whether it's their hands and you have to be a good listener. It's that simple. I think it's just about the audience believing that these people see each other the way nobody else sees them. And that's whether it's an 11-year-old kid, or it's an older guy, or it's a woman, it doesn't really matter. It's just that you see that person the way nobody else does, and you believe that. So it's really, you're bearing witness to each other, and you're present for each other.
Things that you find most challenging and interesting about acting is that you never quite achieve the perfect thing. You have to. Could you explain that a little bit?
I think when you see it, you think, oh yeah, I kind of was on the right track, but I wasn't courageous enough to totally commit, or this could have been clear. I thought that moment felt so strong, but yet it's not clear, and that's it's like throwing a pot. You can get centered, you can choose the color, and then you put it in, and somehow it shrinks a little bit, maybe the colors. So when you see it, you never have the feeling, yeah, I really hit that one, I got it. It never feels completely like you were successful in the sense that it was everything that you thought it could be. And that kind of is, therefore, it's a little addicting, because you want another shot to try to figure out how you can get your machine to translate better, or just to be braver. I think really to be braver, to be more courageous at not worrying about if it's right or wrong and just doing it. You know, there's so many really amazing films that deserve to be seen and deserve to be called special, and they either don't have the studio behind them, or you know, they can't. To get an Academy Award nomination, you have to have enough money to get screeners out. I mean, Dead Man Walking, Sean should have gotten the award for that, and our screeners didn't go out. By that time, I had 5 nominations. I think people were just so tired of me getting nominated. I think I had 5 nominations in 6 years or something. Just give it to her, get her.
I'd like to, if I could, bring up the house lights, please, and take a few questions from the audience for Susan Sarandon, please.
I'm sure everyone can agree with me. You are more beautiful now than you were back then. Do you see yourself, I mean, what is that? That's 25, 35 years ago. Do you see yourself 35 years from now? Do you see 35 years more making...
Absolutely. I think just about all of them, for sure. Yeah, because there's so many variables, you know, and again, you're thrown to the mercy of the editors, and you know, you start a film, and seriously, sometimes there's just chemistry in a way that you didn't expect, for better or worse, and that changes things. And they're always different than you know, that's what's so funny. Everybody sits around a table in the beginning, and even if you have a conversation with the director when you're trying to decide if you're going to do it, and you ask him like in a junket, you know, why do you want to do this movie? It's surprising how many directors can't answer that. And then you talk about what it's going to be, and then everybody goes off, and then you see it, and you think, how did you get there? What is that? So I think that's kind of part of the mystery of filmmaking is, I hope it turns out differently even than the writer or the director expected it to be, because sometimes they just get a life of their own.
But what's ahead? What can we expect from Susan Sarandon in the next year? You have a project going?
Well, yeah, I don't know. You haven't hit upon my ping pong club.
Excuse me, I was gonna get to that. I thought we'd wrap up this Hollywood thing and get down to the important things. So let's jump right into ping pong.
Well, so we're hoping, the ping pong world, and especially at our club, there's a club I have with Jonathan and 2 other people that aren't here, and it's just filled with characters, this really strange little microcosm that we have in New York and now in other cities. But I'm a terrible ping pong player, and you will not catch me playing in public because there's this rumor that I'm good, and I don't want to dispel that myth, but I'm not a very good player. But I love the fact that little girls can beat big muscly guys, and that you can play until you're 100, and you never know who's going to be good, and all of these different things that happen in the ping pong world. And we're about to do a kind of episodic documentary that shows all these different people, and not so much about ping pong, but really just about them and the growing of our business, but mostly just these, you know, Marty, who's 81 and's been hustling for 67 years playing ping pong. I love the documentaries. I'm sure there's some at the festival, because you don't know what's going to happen, and there's such good ones being made now. So I like the idea of segueing into that. So that possibly will happen. I'd like to do some more theater, and I'm about to start a movie with Richard Gere. That's a kind of mostly I either die or I'm somebody's wife. That's my job, or both, or somebody's mother. Not too much the mistress anymore, but a lot of different ways of dying.
Very good at that.
And that's a challenge. You know, when I started doing mothers, everybody was like, oh my God, if you're a mother, then you're not gonna be sexy anymore. You can't, it's the beginning of the end of your career, but there's so many interesting mothers.
Exactly.
You know, all different kinds of mothers, from pretty baby, yeah, I love mothers.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you, Sue, so much.
Thank you all for
And I'd
having
like to have
Kevin McNeely, the executive director, has been very generous with your time, and your conversation with Ames is so sincere. And thank you for giving so much of yourself and allowing us to honor such an incredible career.